Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for February 20th, 2023. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each one of these down there to cordcuttersnews.com so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Also, hey, this is my final week here in Florida. Kind of excited to go home, kind of excited to get into all the big plans here, more YouTube videos, reviews, and a whole lot more here. Be nice to be back at home on my own office desk and more. But it's also snowing and icy up there. I'm kind of enjoying the fact that it's going to be in the 90s down here in Florida this week. So, I don't know, final week here. Thanks everybody supporting us. Continue to understand that, hey, this trip was planned before I even knew I could buy back Cord Cutters News. We had a lot of people coming here. I couldn't change it. And thanks for your understanding that this may not be the setup I wanted it to be for these videos, but I appreciate your support. Check back next week for me back in the studio. All right, before we get into it, hey, could you help me grow this channel? Could you help us support our families here at Cord Cutters News? Just hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us support our families, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. All right, quick deal of the day. Anker's 65 watt 3-port USB-C and USB charging block. You probably noticed most new phones have higher wattage for charging, but don't come with a new higher wattage wall charger. This is a great one I use every day. It's on sale for just a little over $38. Let me get the exact price, $38.41. Link in the show notes down below. Great deal. All right. Google, let's start off the news of the day. Google now has a site where they'll tell you the best home internet provider in your area. I'll often get asked this question, what's the best internet provider? What are my options in my area? And Google has a website now that will allow you to kind of get a good idea of that. It's called the Google Video Quality Report, and it looks at all the ISPs for most areas based on zip code. There's a few areas where it doesn't give results, but the last 3 cities I've lived in, it reported all of them. And it will break down your major ISP providers and give you an idea of the video quality they offer for you to give you an idea if they are going to be the best internet provider in your area. Great option to figure out, hey, should I use Comcast or should I go AT&T, CenturyLink, Spectrum, etc. A couple of disclaimers here. It doesn't include some of the wireless options. No T-Mobile home internet, Verizon home internet, no SpaceX, for example. But it's still a pretty good option to kind of break down what your options for home internet are. All right, let's keep moving along. We got a lot of YouTube TV news real quick to run down. So we're going to kind of fly through this. YouTube TV is losing MLB.TV. Now, MLB.TV is not MLB Network. MLB Network was pulled off of YouTube TV a few weeks ago after their contract expired and they were unable to get a new one. Now, MLB.TV's contract has expired, and that's the add-on that gives you out-of-market games, which used to be cool to have it through YouTube TV because you could get your in-market games in YouTube TV for a lot of people, and then your out-of-market games through that. But because their contracts expired from that, they were not able to strike a new deal. It's been removed. Some people have kind of said this means that MLB Network is not coming back at all. And that's not the case. Google has been very clear that they are currently negotiating and they hope to bring it back, but at a fair deal. With baseball season roughly a month out from when it starts, it wouldn't surprise me if this goes on a few weeks. Maybe they strike a deal, maybe they don't. Your guess is as good as mine, to be honest with you. All right, let's go on to the next YouTube TV. The new YouTube TV guide. Now, a few weeks ago, the new library and guide rolled out on pretty much all devices for YouTube TV, but Apple introduced a app-breaking bug that prevented you from using the guide, prevented you from effectively using the YouTube TV app on the Apple TV. They rolled it back to the old version, they made some changes, and now the Apple TV is finally getting the new guide. Now, you've had the library for a while, this is the guide. It's got some different changes to help discover what you're looking at, make sure you know where you are in the guide, and a few other things. Not a huge earth-shaking update here, but finally Apple TV customers have access to the new guide. All right, speaking of new guide, let's jump topics here over to Comcast. Now, Comcast's X1 and their Flex streaming players, which are going to be renamed to the Xumo players when they're sold at Walmart later this year, are getting a new user interface. So Comcast is finally upgrading their user interface, which is kind of interesting. A lot of people have often said you could think a lot about Comcast, but their user interface on their apps or on their cable and their streaming player was pretty decent. But they are coming out with a brand new one later this year. They released a letter to shareholders few weeks ago, and buried in there was a comment that as they prepare for this to become a streaming player they sell at Walmart to compare with Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and more, they're rolling out a new user interface. We don't know what it's going to be, but there will be a brand new user interface on it. Let me know, do you have the Comcast Flex? Do you like the user interface? Do you want to see what changes would you like to see in it? Leave me a comment, let me know. All right, last week we learned that Roku's earning numbers came out. We talked a little bit about it, but one of the things buried in there was that Roku now has 70 million active accounts. Now, these are active accounts, so these are people in the last month have actually logged in and used their Roku, not just bought a Roku, threw it away, and don't use it anymore. So that's 70 million active accounts. They had 87.4 billion hours of streamed in the fourth quarter. That's pretty impressive. 87.4, dyslexic moment there, billion hours of content streamed on Roku players in the fourth quarter. That's a 19% jump year over year. Roku's kind of killing it when it comes to activity over there. So we have to keep a close eye on this. While Roku is growing, they're though being very clear that streaming players are important to them, but Roku TVs, the smart TVs, is where they see the future. I think increasingly as people replace their older TVs with new ones, it's very hard to find just a dumb TV. And Roku's right now is the largest manufacturer of smart TV OSs. Most TVs sold, I think 1 in 3 sold in the United States or something like that is with a Roku OS running the TV. As that becomes reality, the need to buy a separate streaming player, it's going to become less and less. We'll have to keep an eye on that. All right. So kind of a shotgun on a few different things here. NBA and NHL here with Bally Sports. You probably a lot of Bally Sports news coming out because Bally Sports parent company, Diamond Sports, which is owned by Sinclair, is in the process of getting ready for bankruptcy. They missed a major debt payment last week that starts a 30-day clock to either renegotiate with creditors or declare bankruptcy. Most people agree that they expect this to go to bankruptcy. Well, we learned that MLB was already preparing to offer in-market streaming if Bally Sports is unable to complete their contract. NBA has now said, and according to their new contract, that they do have the right in their contract that Bally Sports declares bankruptcy to take back rights for in-market games, and they could maybe stream them through NBA League Pass and offer in-market streaming to their games in Bally Sports areas. We'll have to keep a very, very close eye on this. But it's pretty clear that now NHL, NBA, and MLB have all said that they intend, if they need to take back their streaming rights and offer in-market streaming of their games rather than go through Bally Sports. Now, they have made it clear that they do intend to use Bally Sports if they can, because Bally Sports is a fat paycheck for them with very little work. If Bally Sports can complete their contract, they'll continue that. If Bally Sports is unable to complete their contract, they'll take back rights and stream it in market. We'll have to keep a close eye on that and how it all works out. But this is a groundbreaking moment for sports. Sports has always gotten fat on TV contracts. Increasingly, those sports networks groups have been looking at how to go direct to consumer. Major League Soccer is doing that with the Apple TV Pass. We're seeing other groups go direct to consumers too. But if MLB, NHL, and NBA have to go straight to market in many markets because Bally Sports or AT&T Sportsnet can't complete their contract, then that's probably going to lead to the fact that many companies out there are going to maybe speed up plans to offer direct-to-consumer streaming options. I think a lot of people, when they get live TV, they're getting it exclusively for sports now. And that you're getting stuck with all that other stuff you don't want. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. This bankruptcy could move cord cutting, move the demise of cable up significantly. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on it. All right. HBO shows are coming to TNT and TBS. So HBO is testing out, starting off with, let me make sure, Silicon Valley, and I believe it was True Blood. Yes, True Blood. So Silicon Valley is coming to TBS and True Blood is coming to TNT. These are edited versions, obviously, of the popular shows. Warner Brothers Discovery is looking for ways to fill hours. TNT no longer offers original programming. So they are going to be testing out bringing these programs to traditional cable networks. If it goes well, look for more older content from HBO to make an appearance on TBS and TNT. They have a lot of hours to fill, and they're hoping maybe that offering these premium content shows will maybe attract people to pay for HBO Max, but also help fill a bunch of time that they need. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The death of cable. Now it's the question of how do we find content that's good to fill this time slot when it's not airing sports? Because let's be honest, most of these companies make their money in sports. When sports are not on, they're just looking to fill time. All right, last story up of the day. SpaceX has plans to increase internet speed. Now, one of the complaints against SpaceX's Starlink home internet was the fact that as more and more people use it, the speed slowed down. Now, they've been rapidly launching a lot of satellites. I think I see over 10 launches so far this year for new satellites going into the Starlink cluster. Thousands of satellites still to be launched. And that's where this comes in. So the SpaceX has received permission to launch 7,000 plus second-gen satellites, but they still have permission to launch over 4,000 first-generation satellites. SpaceX is asking the FCC if they can upgrade the first-generation satellites to have better technology, part of the technology used in the larger second-gen satellites, so that they can start offering faster, better speeds by upgrading the satellites in space. Instead of just launching 4,000 of the older model satellites, get them upgraded with some new equipment, then launch them, and be able to take advantage of the current first-gen satellites, and let's call them 1.5 satellites, with these first-gen satellites with improved hardware that will allow better targeting, better speeds, and better coverage than the first-generation ones. The big selling point here is when the second-generation satellites start launching. It's probably not going to be until later this year. They need that new spaceship that they're working on, that larger set of rockets to launch these larger satellites. But great news, they are aware that their speeds are slowing down and they have a plan to fix it. Because while you may live in an area with multiple internet options, cable, a lot of people live in areas with no high-speed internet, and SpaceX has been a huge boon for that kind of need to offer high-speed internet to rural Americans and rural people all over the world. Well, there you go. That's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. We'll be back again real soon with another video. Take care. Be safe. I hope you all have a fantastic day.